afternoon and welcome to TVM-News. Today is Friday, September 30th. I'm Ellen Franz.
And I'm Emma Rushworth. This week we have news about a standoff between a man and police in Nanticoke.
We also have news about Marywood hosting an active shooter drill this week.
And we'll check in with TVM sports anchors Kyle Driscoll and John Downey to find out the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
Marywood hosted an active shooter drill on Wednesday. The drill, which occurred in Loughran Hall, was to test the school's response to an emergency situation. The drill, however, was a cause of controversy after many students signed a petition asking for the police who were involved not to fire blanks as they previously stated. The purpose of the blanks were to show students what a gunfire smells like and sounds like.
Marywood's annual Alumni and Family Weekend is this weekend. Events planned include bingo, a 5K, and athletic events. On Saturday night, a block party will be held with a DJ and mini golf. Alternatively, a free showing of the movie Elvis will be held on Saturday night at the amphitheater.
Marywood student activities are auctioning off 2 free tickets to the Masquerade Formal. Students can tag their date in the comments of the Marywood Activities Council Instagram post announcing the contest and share the post to their Instagram story for a chance to win. The dance will be held on October 28th at Forelli's in Peckville.
Marywood's music theater and dance program is putting on their annual fall play this weekend. Dancing at Lunasa is a drama set in rural Ireland about 5 sisters told through the memory of one of their sons. Performances begin tonight at 7:30, with additional performances on Saturday at 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m., and a final performance at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Tickets are free, but donations to the program are encouraged.
This week was Commuter Appreciation Week in honor of the new Commuter Student Lounge opening up in Madonna Hall. Students were treated to a free breakfast, a candle-making workshop, and free coffee throughout the week to celebrate.
Marywood men's basketball will have a new coach for this upcoming season. John Showers served as an assistant coach at DeSales University and York College. Showers also had a brief stint as an assistant coach at Marywood early in his career. Former coach Enrico Mastriani left at the end of July for the Director of Athletics position at Abington Heights High School. When we come back, we'll tell you about a standoff between a man and police in Nanticoke.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you, get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
A standoff in Luzerne County ended with 1 person dead. Police in Nanticoke were called to a domestic dispute on West Grand Street around 4:30 in the morning on Sunday. The man barricaded himself in the home after firing shots at police. A woman and children were able to escape the house. The standoff ended after the unidentified man turned the gun on himself.
The late Queen Elizabeth II enjoyed a historical artifact in a local museum. The Manor Hall dollhouse is located in the Tabor Museum in Williamsport. It was built in the 1930s and displayed all across England upon its completion. The then Princess Elizabeth saw it on its tour. The dollhouse has been at the Tabor Museum since 2011.
An update to the deadly shooting in Kingston. Police have arrested and charged Taekwon Lassiter with the murder of 38-year-old Peter McCoy. McCoy was shot outside of a bar on Main Street in Kingston on September 10th and died of his injuries at a nearby hospital.
A man in Monroe County had a group of unexpected visitors swing by for a snack. On September 2nd, John Costanzo's Ring doorbell camera caught a mother bear and her cubs breaking into Costanzo's home and raiding his kitchen. The bears were able to escape safely and tried to come back the next day but could not succeed.
Police are looking for a man who robbed a bank last week. The unidentified man robbed First Keystone Community Bank in Swiftwater last Friday. No description was given, but anyone with information is asked to call the police as they search for the robber in Monroe County.
A family foundation has donated $100,000 to various organizations in Hazleton. The Paul and Lisa D'Angelo Family Foundation donated the money to organizations such as All-American Girls Softball, veterans organizations, autism support groups, and those fighting cancer in the community. The D'Angelo family hopes that with this donation, these organizations could stay running.
A Light Up the Night walk was held in Naog Park to benefit the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Red lanterns were lit around the path by those who lost loved ones to blood cancer. White lanterns were lit by leukemia and lymphoma survivors. The event Saturday evening aimed to raise funds towards the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. When we come back, we'll tell you about Hurricane Ian advancing towards Florida. But before that, here's Maddie with the weather.
Thanks, ladies. Welcome back to your weekend weather report. This weekend is really going to feel like fall in northeastern Pennsylvania. It's going to be cold and a little bit wet. Today is going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 65 and a low of 50 degrees. Saturday is going to be a 50% chance of rain with a high of 60 and a low of 52 degrees. And Sunday there's going to be a slight chance of rain with a high of 62 and a low of 41 degrees. The weekend's going to be a little bit cold, but that makes it the perfect weekend to stay inside and catch up on your homework, catch up on your sleep, or study for those midterms. Have a great weekend, Pacers, and we'll be right back after these short messages.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
At least a dozen people are dead after Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwestern Florida. The Category 4 storm hit Florida on Wednesday, leaving a trail of destruction in its path. Over 2 million people in Florida are still without power, and President Biden said today that the death toll is expected to rise significantly, potentially making Ian the worst disaster in Florida's history. Hurricane Ian has not slowed down, strengthening as it heads for North and South Carolina.
A manhunt is underway after 3 people were shot at Kennywood Amusement Park in Allegheny County. The altercation occurred between 2 groups of teenagers on Saturday night. One of the people hit was a male juvenile who was taken to the hospital and is stable. The other 2 men were treated and are recovering.
As protests in Iran continue after the death of a woman in police custody. 22-year-old Mahsa Amini was detained for violating public morality laws in Iran, requiring the wearing of a hijab and loose-fitting clothing in public for women. Amini was beaten by police until she succumbed to her injuries. The Iranian government criticized Western support of protesters, lamenting negative press coverage of the protests.
Cuba has approved gay marriage. The country voted to approve a family law code that allows same-sex couples to marry and adopt children. The code was approved by 66.9% of the country. This is a big deal considering the country is run by communists who strongly did not agree with the same-sex marriage rules.
Italy is set to elect the furthest right candidate to prime minister since Benito Mussolini. Giorgia Meloni and her party, the far-right Brothers of Italy, are set to hold a majority bloc in both the upper and lower houses of parliament. The 45-year-old Meloni would also be the first woman to lead Italy.
James Earl Jones has stepped back from voicing his most iconic character. Jones has voiced the iconic villain Darth Vader for nearly 50 years. The 91-year-old actor has given Lucasfilms access to archived voice recordings of his. They plan on using AI to replicate his voice so Darth Vader can still terrorize the Star Wars universe while Jones is in retirement.
A Georgia man who took office as mayor in June died this past weekend. Perry Bell of White, Georgia, competed in a motocross competition but was struck by another rider. Investigators into the accident said that the collision was unavoidable. Bell died of blunt force trauma just 3 months into his term as mayor.
Pop star Rihanna has been announced as the halftime performer for next year's Super Bowl. The halftime show, which will now be sponsored by Apple Music, is one of the most anticipated television events. Super Bowl 57 is scheduled for February 12th in Arizona. When we come back, we'll check in with TVM sports anchors Kyle Driscoll and John Downey for the latest in Marywood and professional sports.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope, I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Luke! 911, where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Well, John, after a lackluster week at Marywood Sports last week, a lot of teams improved. A member of our cross-country team even started a new record.
Wow, tell me more about it.
Marywood's men's cross-country team placed 6 out of 34 teams at last week's Invitational at Lock Haven University. Freshman Michael McCann finished 19th out of 290 players and nabbed the 4th best time in Marywood history. McCann was also selected as the Atlantic East Conference Men's Cross-Country Runner of the Week for the 2nd time of this season. Other highlights include freshman Jack Baronski finishing in 29th place and several Pacers shaving time off their previous records. At the same Invitational, the women's cross-country team placed 22nd out of 34 women's teams. The top finisher for the Pacers was sophomore Haley Gaines, who crossed the finish line after 23 minutes and 51 seconds, more than half a minute off her previous best time. Both teams will next compete at Rowan University on October 15th. Marywood's men's golf team scored a victory over Penn State, Harrisburg, and Clark Summit University this past Monday with a team score of 327. Paula Polt, who was named Atlantic East Golfer of the Week, led the Pacers with a round of 78. The men's golf team will take on Wilkes University, the University of Scranton, and Misericordia University next Tuesday. The women's golf team did not finish at their most recent match. Despite efforts by freshman Maddie Franceschi, who shot 114, the match will be dominated by the University of Scranton and Susquehanna. The women's field hockey team was shut out by the Bulldogs of DeSalle University on Tuesday. Despite saves made by Rachel Yone and Corin Hasty, the final score was 2-0. Tomorrow, the women's field hockey team takes on Keene University. Marywood's men's soccer team was crushed by Arcadia University last Saturday 4-0. With the Knights of Arcadia outshooting the Pacers by a 24-6 margin, the Pacers were shut out. Their luck changed Wednesday night, however, with a 2-1 win over Hood College. The women's soccer team also scored a victory this week, defeating Wilkes University 3-1. Goals scored by Brooke Longstreet, Caroline Walters, and Josephine Sorges led the Pacers' win, along with assists by Victoria Sitsis and saves by Rebecca Becker. On Sunday, the Pacers take on Casanova College at 1 for their senior day game. Marywood's women's tennis team crushed East Stroudsburg University 9-0 last week. Allison Bashore and Gabriella Nowak scored an 8-6 ones double round. Along with a number of forfeits, Veronica Schneider clinched the victory for the Pacers, scoring the winning point at 5 singles. The Pacers take on Penn College at home this Sunday at 1. Last Tuesday, Marywood's women's volleyball team fell 3-1 to Penn State Harrisburg. Casey Hagerstrom made 10 kills, Shannon Core made 7 kills, and Michaela Meek made 8 kills. However, it was not enough to get the win. With the defeat, their season record is now 7-8. Well, that's it for Marywood sports. What's going on in the world of professional?
Kyle, did you hear about Albert Pujols hitting his 700th career home run last week?
I did not.
Well, I'll tell you more about it. This weekend's crucial series between the New York Mets and Atlanta Braves is under question because of the impending Hurricane Ian. Major League Baseball is putting together contingency plans in case they have to move the series from Atlanta. Numerous ideas have been thrown out there, such as a doubleheader Sunday or even a doubleheader next Thursday, October 6th, which may not be the best thing to do because the loser of the NL East would play in the wildcard round the next day. These are by far the most crucial games left on the schedule because of the fact that the Mets have a one-game lead over the Braves. More history was made last weekend when the all-time great Albert Pujols hit his 700th home run of his career against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Pujols, who is now 42 years old and has said this was his final season, wanted to accomplish this historic event this season, and he did that by hitting 21 home runs this year after just hitting 23 the past 2 years. Pujols has joined elite company in the 700 club as there are just 3 players ahead of him. Those players are Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, and Babe Ruth. Pujols and the Cardinals will try to make a deep playoff run as he steps into retirement. The injury report is starting to mount across the NFL, especially at the quarterback position. Dolphins QB Tua Tagovailoa suffered a back and ankle injury. Patriots QB Mac Jones suffered a severe ankle injury, and Saints QB Jameis Winston has been dealing with fractures in his back. Cowboys QB Dak Prescott has been sidelined due to a right thumb injury as well. As for quarterbacks who are making returns, Justin Herbert, who had a rib injury, will be playing this weekend, and Zach Wilson, who had suffered a knee injury in the preseason, will be making his season debut. That's all for sports. We will be back after these messages.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
A gray seal in Massachusetts has been causing trouble in a pond. After avoiding the rescue efforts of the police and fire department, the seal, named Showbert, turned himself in at the local police station on Friday. Showbert had gotten out of the pond, crossed the parking lot, and appeared outside the police station's door.
Guilty conscience applies to seals too, I guess.
Aw, he just felt so bad.
Bless him.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of TVM-News. From everyone at TV-Marywood, thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to follow TV-Marywood's YouTube page and like the TVM Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest happenings and to watch additional content. I'm Emma Rushworth.
And I'm Ellen Franz. Have a great weekend, Marywood.